in one of the meditation, instantaneous meditation magic tricks that I talk about all the time. And one of which is to pretend that you just arrived here, no past, no future. Okay. Now, when you do that, you stop thinking. And what happens is the real you, the I am, the fractal of God, your spirit, or whatever word you want to use, is now present, and there's no conditioning going on. None whatsoever. Now, at that moment when this happens for everyone, when they do that meditation magic trick, that's the real you. In that moment, you're not playing any role. There's no conditioning going on. You're not trying to fit in. You're not getting your identity from other people's perception and therefore their reaction. In that moment, you're free.
Mm.
Now, it's as simple as that. Now, the key to this is our ability to maintain that level of freedom and liberation through being present, just being present. And then your beingness, your I am, the beingness is now online. And then you simply take your beingness and you put it into your doingness, your beingness into your doingness. And that being, what we really are, is free, formless, and unconditioned. And in that moment, we return to that. And then it's to live that way is really the key. And that takes away all the layers of programs, roles, ideologies, concepts, beliefs, all the things that we have bought into since we arrived here. And so the key is to return to what we are, which is just pretend that you just arrived here. No past and no future. And then from there, you operate with joy, what excites you, what you're passionate about, what you're interested in, and don't give credence to other people's opinions, reactions, their judgment of you. Judgment says everything about the one doing the judging and nothing about what is being judged. So when someone judges you or anything else, or when you judge someone else, you're really just revealing all of your conditioned mind. You're revealing your beliefs, your concepts, your ideologies, your roles, your shoulds, your should nots, right? So other people's opinion of you is actually them revealing themselves, and it has nothing to do with you. So
Yes.
if you can keep that in mind, that will lessen the weight or gravitas that we give to other people's opinion of us. So
Okay.
it's a combination of returning to what we are, and we can do that by pretending we just arrived here, no past, no future. And then the beingness is online, and then allow the beingness to flow into your doing this from moment to moment. And that's the fastest, most effective way to do it. The key is every time that we catch ourselves drifting back into our ideologies, our roles, our concepts, our beliefs, our shoulds, and our should nots, is to stop and start over and pretend that you just arrived here, no past, no future. And the
Okay.
more that you do that, the more that you'll normalize being present, which means there is no conditioned mind. And you'll begin to experience what you really are, which is joy, love, peace, inner equanimity, passion, excitement, and power. And that doesn't require any training whatsoever because that's what we actually are. Because that's the labeling. So that's what we want to refrain from. So the labeling, this is good, this is bad, that's narcissistic, that's not narcissistic, right? So the I am, the pure beingness, right? It doesn't have those qualities. The quality of it has is presence, and woven within the screen of our consciousness is our presence, which is our depth of love and wisdom, who subsets our talents and abilities. That has nothing to do with narcissism at all. That's the labeling of consciousness. So if you refrain from labeling yourself, which is really the key, you'll start to feel more like yourself. And that's where all the joy in life actually comes from. It comes from being yourself, being authentic, because the
Mhm.
I am is that vibration of pure joy and love. So we refrain from the judgment via labeling of consciousness, calling it this and
Okay.
calling it that. Yeah. There's no conditioned mind that is then putting something on top of what is through a label, right? Because before we got here, there's no such thing as narcissism. There's no such thing as any of these things. So none of us are really that. It's the labeling of behaviors, actions, the way that someone operates. If you refrain from doing that with yourself, you'll eventually refrain from doing that with others. And then you'll actually feel like yourself, and then you'll actually see people for who they really are rather than seeing them through the lens of a label.